All right, everybody. What's up, everybody? I'm back and I'm just sharing out my stream real quick. So give me a second. All right, to anybody that came in, I'm just sharing out the stream. So we'll get started shortly. All right, hey Shay, hey Supermom, go. Yeah, yeah. So I'm about to get ready to share the link, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to do a quick definition of what we're going to be talking about today, and and that is karmic debt. You know, what is it? And then we'll get into it. All right, so I put the link in the chat. While I'm doing that, I'm going to pull up the definition of it so that people understand what it is. Hey Marie, how you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Super Marco and Marie. All right, so karmic debt. This this term is an expression what we reserve when we with someone we know might dislike suddenly encounters negative experiences in life. We call that measurement of this karmic debt. Well, I guess one way of putting it, but I can really say it's just the burden that the burdens you may take because maybe of somebody else or maybe yourself or something like that. So I mean I'm just putting my own spin on that. But as far as that, I have the link in the chat. And yeah, if you want to come back up, I got it in there. I was just trying to read it real quick, but I'm sure everybody's had things in life, with karma, karmic debt, which is like supposed to be like the kind of like the bad experience, like if you're in debt, it's kind of like you're still paying for whatever something is. So I mean, for like, those who don't know what karma is, karma, I mean, simply put, is just the law of cause and effect. And if you and cause and effect. So, if you read the Bible, then it's you reap what you sow. Just try to put it as simply as I can. But yeah. All right, so yeah. So I mean, I guess like if you've done some Uh, I'm sure there's like things that people probably around that probably brought you down as soon as you're doing certain stuff. People that probably bring you down and you didn't realize it, and as soon as you remove yourself from those people, then things start to get better for some reason, or you moved away from certain things and everything got better. So yeah, with all that, like karmic debt is karmic debt. Something that just like any other debt, like you're paying college debt or anything like that. You can actually pay it off. As long as you don't build up anymore. How you doing, God Supreme, Sunray, Shay, Miss B Town? Oh yeah, I see Sunray's in the chat. How you doing, Sunray?
I'm doing fine and I'm doing fantabulous. I was glad to see that I didn't miss the much of the live. I was actually intrigued by your questions. Was just gonna say right back at hair, Mary hair removal. Let's connect and at Goddess Supreme. Um, right back at you, and for what for coming in onto my stream, man. That was so. I was really touched by that. But anyway, back onto this other subject. Excuse me. Like what you were saying, like I missed the beginning, sort of 5 minutes. But when you were
Oh
going on to this,
yeah, I mean, I kind of just got started. I think like maybe like two or three of them. I was just like it was kind of silent because I was just sharing out the stream. So
yeah.
so you so
So
you so you,
I
you
got a one intriguing point there though, because you're going like the way you said. Um, like okay, the source of the sin, sort of, I might be wording this quite, correctly or something, but the source of the sin, and then you can devour your ways, or like repent your ways and turn towards this, right? So I was thinking then in the terms of Bible, church, God, devil, right? Now we all say that all the Bible says the devil has reigns, rule on this earth, right? Now, and there's other times where God has put his uh, like his rash down on people, Sodom and Gomorrah, other things. So I was just like, just it was just a trigger thought. I'm not trying to be any at all. Like it's just a brainstorm thought, not an attack or not a. It's just a thought, and it's so like could hypothetically be speaking, because you know how like say that it's all in, like, because that was written, right? God said that the angels will fall and this will happen and for thousands of years and the sun will come and then he will repent all our humanity's sins and stuff. So is it like where does that the sin lie? Is the sin lie in God creating the devil to do these things? Or is it in the fact where he comes at revelation and takes it all over? It's a pretty out there question, but it made me think, because what is at fault? It's like the chicken and the egg kind of theory.
all right. So how's that apply to the karmic debt? I was just curious.
How about the what? Oh, the
Karmic, karmic.
karmic debt.
Yeah. That's
Well, okay, karmic debt. Oh, you want me to break it down to karma and things like that? Oh, okay, I've got a logic on karma. So, how does that break that down to karmic debt? Well, okay, karmic debt of God and the devil. Now, we all have, as individuals, we have, I guess, karmic debt to pay in the afterlife, or what it is not, what they perceive as to be in our actions that we do. We will we reap what we sow. Um, some people view things differently, but that's how I was seeing it. I was just trying to say it, not, I was just seeing how do you perceive that? Not trying to like, strike it down or nothing, but it does make sense. It does make, to me, it makes sense. Like, because there is someone's karmic debt in there. Is it totally all, say, the devil's fault for trying to upstage God? Or was it the fact that God gave him a chance? Um, and that chance supposedly will fall through, you know, we know. So that, I mean, that's karmic debt in itself, because the actions and tribute, like actions that have gone through, has caused, people to be crucified, people to be plagued, people to be starved, so be blistered
Okay.
even. So I mean that falls under the category very easily. So I mean, and I'm not trying to get argumentative. That's just what I was thought when you said that. When you were saying that, you were saying, okay, it was about karmic debt, and then on the side of the evil and the thing. And I just thought, well,
I, I mean, I ain't saying nothing about evil, but
which way could it fall? I mean, you don't have to put you can say hypothetically. You don't have to put your foot in it and say, okay, this is what I think. Lawyers do that all the time. They say, hypothetically speaking, blah 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 blah, and they don't, um, necessarily define their viewpoint. Um, I don't know. You can leave that. I mean, God is supreme, of course, and all day, and I'm the Most High, and I think like that. I mean, it takes a beyond thought to think like that. I
all
mean, if
right,
you
so right, let's try to bring it down to people. So how would you
yeah,
see
bring it back.
karmic debt?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to go too
No,
far
no, I'm
out
not.
there.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not being like very argumentative, because I'm very
No,
respectful.
no,
I'm very down to earth, and I know all, like, see,
I'm
because
not. I'm
in
not. I'm not. I'm, I'm
Fiji,
not. I'm not saying you're being argumentative. It's like just trying to, try to keep it relatable for everybody else. That's what I was trying to do.
yeah, like, because
Cause,
in
cause, cause,
Fiji, karma is very big over there, because they've got a lot of Hindustani population.
yeah. I mean,
So
so I mean, I was saying like how like I was trying to say like what's your perspective on how it relates, how karmic debt relates to people in their daily lives.
okay, well, okay, I'll have to look. I missed the beginning bit to my logic of, or to my definition of karmic debt would have been what I just said. I'm gonna look at them now because I missed the first, like, little bit. So it's just gonna be basically of what you reap you sow, is what I said before. So the term is an expression we reserve for when someone we know and might dislike, in brackets, suddenly encounters negative experiences in life, and we call the measurements of this karmic debt. Okay, so if somebody goes through an unfortunate experience in life, okay, so I got to read that again. It says, and you got to go, can't just go through one reference, like one little quote. You got to read through this whole thing, because, okay, I'll read it again. Is there a term? There is an expression that, shit, sorry. This term is an expression we reserve for when someone we know suddenly encounters negative experience in life, and we call the measurements of this karmic debt. So, I mean, okay, what does it mean to have karmic debt? For what I have studied so far, no karmic debt means that from previous experience you did not carry any particular lesson that you must learn into this experience. You are debt free, and you do not have any restrictions on the direction you can go in life.
All right. So now you got the definition of karmic debt. What's
Well, they were
what
kind
what
of
what what, what
contradicting.
I mean, I'm saying what's your put in your words like how how karmic debt may apply to people's lives, or how it may not.
I
Just
mean, I've said it twice in the interim. Would you ask me? It's like what you reap, you sow. Kind of to put it the most bluntly. So karmic debt, your actions, right? So karmic debt. Why would you? No, I've just read. I mean, this is a question that's just been posted at me. Um, so, and I answered it by saying, the things that uh like what you reap you sow. Now karmic, yeah, like exactly. So karmic debt can, and it doesn't have to be an instant thing. It can be longevity. It could be, hey, it could happen over months, years, and it may not be deliberate action. Like it might not be you tripping over somebody and then you're gonna fall over. It could be from a variant of, say, you cooking a meal not right for someone and then you're getting food poisoned 5 years later. This is just my thoughts or something, so in the variance and that you could fall under. So, and that would be the karmic debt, the fact that you were spitefully acting detrimentally towards this person's endeavors when you could have done it to standard, but you didn't. Um, now, under this definition, that should bring you karmic debt. Now, in saying that, I'm just thinking of the colonizers of the world and how much karmic debt they've received. So,
okay, the
yeah.
colonizer of the world. Like, all right, elaborate on that for me.
Oh, well, I mean, from exactly from that, from we were just talking about the actions that you do, the reap what you sow, you get what you go. So if you go plant an orange tree and you water it every day in a nice sunny spot, and you put an orange tree next to it, you put some grapes to it, and you feed water them every day, you're going to get some very fruitful plants, fruit bearing plants. Now, as into the actions of the centuries of colonizations, they were not nurturing their product or anything in any way. So only thing they were nurturing was the bottom line. It was profit over people, which is still the case today. Um, so where has the karmic? Well, and I mean, I could answer that. I mean, and I always say that because karmic debt could have been paid by now. Because I like to say that we should take a few steps back towards nature. We do not need these technological advances, and the we should be prioritizing
What happened? Hey, Nadia, how you doing? I guess summer comes back. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put my own words. Hey, Nadia. I mean, I put the link in the chat, so you can hop on. Can, but as far as I'm concerned, like karmic debt. I mean, like just something that it's like a weight that's been on you that people care with, or maybe because of situations they're in, or maybe the people around them, and they and they may carry this weight without even knowing, or they may help somebody lift off their weight. So with that, someone can actually bring somebody up or down between but depending on what actions they take with that person or how they view and their intent towards that particular person.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, how did you start? What was your when you started off? What was your idea, bro? Like title, saying, um,
You say
words.
what?
Okay, okay, yeah. So we're just like, yeah, we're just going on around like a brainstorm on how karmic debt.
I mean, no,
How
we just,
it's
we just discussing it, but yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah, you do. I mean, it's kind of a brainstorm. Hey, Purple Love, how you doing? I see you in the bushes, but yeah, and more people want to hop on in and join the conversation. Can use more people to get different, bounce off different ideas. But, but yeah,
Well, what about your ideas then, bro? What like I propose those answers. What would
I
you
mean,
say?
yeah, yeah, pretty much what I said about that's pretty much all my ideas on it.
Oh, in the beginning. Alright, okay, super
Yeah,
respect.
yeah. It was kind of just thinking about like certain things, like if you're like working around like certain people, and kind of get like with the whole synergy approach. It's like if you're working around people who don't have no motivation or anything like that, then and like say let's say you were normally very motivated, but if you hang around long enough and work with them, you'll start losing motivation just by being around them. And the opposite, someone who may not be that highly motivated, get around people highly motivated
Yeah,
and successful, then they become highly motivated and successful just by just being around them, long enough, and seriously integrated in the group. So it's kind of so I guess like to a certain extent, like it's the the karmic deck can somewhat be like the like the saying your vibe connect your vibe attracts your tribe type of thing. So yeah, whatever you were going whatever side of the scale you're going on, that's usually what you're gonna attract. I mean, whichever one you're tending to go into whatnot, and I mean, you can do like actions that are considered good, but you can still not have like a so-called good karma because of your intentions behind it. If you try to do something good and you don't actually intend on doing anything good with it, then then that then the karma then you may not get the karma that may push you out of debt. But let's say you're doing something bad, something good, it may push you a little towards the good, but you may not go all in it. So I think it's just like the intentions of your actions that really affect it. Yeah, I see you, Purple. I see you here talking. Why don't you get on up here? Talking about me run. But Yeah, it's like Nadia, Shay, Miss BK, y'all were talking about y'all wanted to come back up here. I did the live, and y'all ain't even showing up. Shame.
What you mean, man? I'm right here.
I know you right
Nah,
here. I know, but you know you say you were coming back up here.
say what?
I said you didn't say you. I mean you didn't say you were coming up here. You just came here. So you
Oh,
didn't.
I just came up here now.
Yeah,
I tend to come around to anyone whenever the notification come. I just come up, man. I love to people to come up to mine, man. But it's all good. I got to get my content going good and in a attractive, not attractive, but something that'll attract the audience.
yeah,
And it'll keep going, man. You just got to keep going, man. It takes time, months.
yeah,
How long you been at it? Say a couple years.
yeah. I
What's
said
that?
maybe. Yeah, yeah. I said maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, on and off. Like yeah.
Yeah, I'll say probably recently I started really getting motivated, really working at it, and yeah, that's all right. So now we got Shay to add to the panel. How you
Hey,
doing, Shay?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so I know you say you don't know much about karmic debt, and I mean I kind of think gave you definition, so you might have enough to bounce off of to give you some idea.
Okay.
So I mean what are your thoughts on it?
Um, I never heard of the term before until you just came up with it.
Nah, I didn't just come up with it. That's the actual term.
I never, to be honest, I swear I never heard of it.
I mean you heard the definition I put on the right, like the definition what it
Yeah,
is.
I did see the definition when you pulled it up on the screen, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay. I know what karma is. I know the definition of
Yeah.
karma, but yeah,
Yeah.
um, I never heard of it before.
Yeah, I mean, karmic debt, just like, like we had like debt from college, just like that, just with karma.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Hey, Miss B Town.
Hey, what we playing?
We ain't playing now. We just talking. We just talking about
Oh, okay.
karmic debt.
Have you heard of that
Oh, okay.
before, B Town?
No,
I
out
never heard
there.
it in that
Can't
term.
see either.
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to be like the negative consequences that come from karma. So I mean
It
Oh,
comes from where?
negative consequences from karma.
From karma.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you care to
I
elaborate on?
I think I did. I mean, I guess it's must been in there, but yeah, I was like saying it's pretty much. I was saying like it's kind of like that. You're sharing. Like I said, you could get it from from your own action, or you could get it from who you hang around, or or what's I mean what's going on. So I was saying like certain people could actually hold you down or bring you up or I
Oh,
mean I mean
okay.
yeah I mean just like pretty much your actions because like karma simply put is just law of cause and effect. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Something like that. Like saying that a bad company can corrupt good habits.
yeah,
Kind of like
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean I'm trying to simplify it. I ain't trying to make it all deep or whatever.
right. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, I mean, I'm sure y'all probably experienced some of this. You probably didn't know. You probably called it something else.
Um, I just probably called it karma when it came from me.
Uh huh.
Yeah. But I
I
never
started
heard of it.
making thinking of what have I done to deserve it.
Right.
And you'd be like, Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because the interesting thing about karma is it's like, yeah, you have like, you can do have like positive actions and negative actions. Sometimes you ain't gotta do nothing good or bad.
Hold on.
Sometimes in action, you see what happened?
Hello. Well, how you
Okay, there
working this afternoon? I'm on the computer.
Okay.
you go. I mean, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like sometimes inaction can actually carry its own karma too. Like if you didn't choose to do something, maybe you do what's right, or or something that you could have prevented. You just sat by and did nothing, or yeah, some good was probably going to happen, and you didn't take advantage of it. I mean, inaction can be just could be good or bad depending on the situation.
What?
And we got Char Willie on the panel. Hey, Char.
Greetings, greetings.
Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. You sound like you got
Well,
something.
I like the
Well,
song Karma, so hey, I just said let me pop on in for a minute. Hello, people. How are you?
I'm
Nice
I'm
very
to
great,
meet you.
well.
and
How are
Hello.
you?
you?
Good, good,
Hello.
good. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree.
I know
Karma
people
can
is really
be
about me.
whether you do something or not. I like to just kind of focus on the reaction of something that you do. Um, let's see. What can I share? Okay, I really maybe if a story come out of me, I'll find one, but I'll tell you what I've just noticed. I've noticed when people do things against me, something always happened to them
Yes,
immediately,
yes.
and it's not my imagination because I started paying attention when I was about 8 years old. So I know it's not a coincidence or my imagination. And some things that happen, um, it's not maybe I wouldn't call it bad. I'll just say it was a mutual agreement. Um,
Okay.
it may not have been, you know, that nice of breakup, but sometimes there's always something that happens. And when I mean that, I'm not just saying about a relationship. I'm actually just saying departing from a job. You can mutually depart from a job because it's the best thing to do under certain circumstances. You may feel a little funny about it, like, well, I don't think this was fair, or they could have worked with me a little bit more, or whatever it is. But I've seen things happen to companies. So I'm telling you, all through my life, I've seen karma come back to people um, when I was done, you know, unjust.
Hmm. Agreed. Okay,
Yeah.
Purple.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would say like sometimes I would see like immediate something immediately happen, and then sometimes I would see like it may happen to the person, but it might happen in a different way. But But yeah, I mean, usually, yeah, yeah. But the effects of your actions always come back and bring a little neutral.
Yeah. And I don't look for anything bad, like for them to die or anything like that. It's just
Right.
I look for something to happen. I'm like, okay, what's going to affect them? And it could be something that they were working toward and they lost it all. Um, I've seen, well, it's only one person I've seen actually fall ill. Um, let's see, I've seen, and going back to the employment part, I've seen where departments have been investigated and people terminated.
I can't hear you, Randy.
I'm
And
about to
Miss
say
B
Right.
you can't
saying,
hear me till I heard the word Randy. I'm like, no, that ain't me. That's Shar Willie. First name you can say Shar.
Oh God.
That was my fault. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right,
I'm
well,
sorry.
I'll just mute myself and you go right on
They
ahead.
not no, they tear my nerves up when they know I'm on live, and that's when they want a whole conversation.
all right, sure. All right. Shar, you still there? You're like,
I was muted.
I know. All right, before you get back started, let me bring in LaAnk Neutron. Uh, how you doing?
Greetings, welcome.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You don't have anything to add for Shar keeps going, or
I mean, they can keep going. I actually like where this is going. I'm
okay?
not, really into karma. I do think that there is a such thing as good karma, and bad karma. And I know there's just like certain things that
Oh shit! Sorry, man.
All
no
right.
words.
Okay.
Did you
Oh,
want to
man.
continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that if you sow a seed into somebody, like speaking life or death into somebody, like I think I think that you will reap what you sow. Like to me, karma is kind of similar to that. I could be wrong, but I just think like whatever you do to people, like you do to yourself. And I just like am reminded like in the Bible where Jesus was saying like, what you do, to others, you're actually doing to me. Like, and I think it was the disciples or somebody was like, we never seen you without, food, water, or clothes. And he was like, when I knocked at your door and, asked for something to eat, you didn't give me anything to eat. When I asked for something to drink, you didn't give me something to drink. When I asked for clothes, you didn't give me clothes. So, you know, I I'm not, like I said, I'm not really into karma like that, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it just sounds like, you know, those type of, universal laws of cause and effect. Like I really do believe like if you
Yeah,
deny
that.
people stuff,
Yeah,
they'll
that.
be denied.
Yeah, that's what karma is. Just the cause effect. It's cause effect. It's just call it karma. I mean, it is a universal law. It doesn't really matter if you believe in it or not. It's like it happens. We see it. I mean, there's undeniable proof. I mean, we all have experiences where we do a certain action and something happens. so so yeah, I was just adding in on that one. All right, not gonna try you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm trying to think
Okay.
of, yeah, I wanted to share like an experience, I guess, of it, an example of that. I know it's a lot of, you know, messed up things that happened to me, and there's a lot of, messed up things that I've done to people, in return. Um, but I just know that every time I decide to do something now, I do my best to create a good karma, like making sure that if I have to make a decision, what's going to be the best for all of the parties, involved. Because I noticed that when I started doing right by people, people started to do right by me, but it wasn't just like action wise. Like sometimes people would do good things to me or give me money, but then try to manipulate me, and I didn't like that. It would make me angry. So um, I didn't really appreciate that. So I was trying to figure out how can I have better relationships, with people like family members and people outside of that. And I realized it started with my mind because I would have like this anger, like I felt like they was just doing me wrong. Like so when I Like when somebody did me wrong or put hands on me as a child or whatever, like I would just think like certain type of angry thoughts and stuff like that, and bad shit would happen to them. And then it messed up my relationships with them. As I matured and went through my own life experiences, I realized like I really wanted to have a healthier, better relationship with them as a child. I had to start to change my mentality. I started looking on YouTube for like, how do I raise like, this type of energy? How do I fix my aura, um, or whatever. I just didn't want to live like that in bitterness and anger all of the time, because it started to hurt me. I started to get sick. Like I started to literally become sick. I would go to the hospital. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, so what the fuck is wrong with me? Like I got these symptoms of being sick, and what's wrong with me? And that's what made me kind of start looking into like new age stuff on YouTube, like how do you clear karma and meditation and just getting back to nature, and tapping into like transcending all of the behaviors and ways to react towards things or my own karma in a more healthier, positive way, if that makes any sense. So like I just am more, I guess, cautious about creating a better karma, for myself, as of now, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So so Shay and Miss B Town, son, y'all got something to add to that, or got your own
I
experience?
did. I dealt with karma. Um, at first, I used to just um, like I have let karma dealt with people that did me in or do me wrong. But I also have dealt with karma like back in my 20s. But now that I'm in my 40s, I let karma take care of them, child, because I'm too busy. So I know it's gonna come back, but again, like I told you, I never understood. I never heard that term, karmatic debt. I never heard that one before.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never heard that term before because I always use karma. It come back tenfolds, or it's gonna come back triple, double, quadruple of what you gave or put out to someone else.
Okay. Well, looks like we got Mela here. How you doing?
Hi everybody, peace and happiness. Look, I I suffer from karma as I explained in the back chat to you. I suffer from that karma debt that you speak of as a war veteran that
Yeah.
is responsible for having killed a lot of families in Saudi Arabia, right? Um,
Yeah.
it altered my mind, and I'm on my second marriage, which is not necessarily apple slice, you know. But I must say that my marriages healed me from the guilt, right? And
Yeah.
then I came across a lot of reminders, you know, like after my son, because my full concentration was on raising our child. And after he went away to college, there was all these reminders of how monstrous it is to be responsible for so many lives taken, and it begins to haunt you, and I don't want to use that as an excuse for my online behavior. I just found it more I found some of these so-called YouTube battles to be a more efficient means of uh, spewing out frustration as opposed to doing something that is physically self-destructive, you know? And so karmatic debt, that's a term that fits perfectly into what I've been experiencing ever since the domestic responsibilities of motherhood have left my door. It's like I no longer have anything to focus on other than what I was participated in as a war veteran, you know. And so when I saw this title, and then to keep in mind, I saw previously that your game night trivia. I just think that it takes a beautiful spirit to encourage people to heal themselves, and that's why I showed up. Not, I showed up to get along with everybody. So I thank you for welcoming me. Thank you.
Yeah, man. As long as you come with positive vibes, you always gonna be welcome. Like, so yeah, I mean, I try not to. I don't want to, I try not to bring drama and anything like that. So it's like I get like the first hint of, gonna be some drama there. I kind of get rid of that right away. But I mean, I kind of like, the space I've created, where people can actually, get along and chill, have a good conversation. I mean, I try to make try to make interesting conversations and try to, do things that are fun, that can be uplifting as much as I can. So
It's family minded, and I appreciate that.
I think that's right. Like, I mean, you can do the best you can. Obviously you hear my accents from Australia. You want to link with like-minded people around the world. So UK, USA, um, Fiji, Ireland, anywhere in between, and just like um, just be yourself. Like I say, look inside yourself, find your direction, and follow that path. Like, I mean, Zero is saying like he wants to be, do the best that he can and try not to step on not that he said step on toes or anything, but you know what I mean. Like you can't please everybody, so you got to just come with some positive. It's not positive, but like really informative, in your face kind of information, which is attention grabbing in a way. That's what I feel. I mean, because if you get up there and you like, because this is what I noticed when it's people like I've been in this space for probably about a year or two, and a few people that come on, um, and that they have to like just either continue with the arguments all the time in every episode, or it's either the same talking points over and over again in a very repetitive motion, and if it floats from that talking point, it'll come back to that talking point, and there'll be no way around it. Um, See now to see us, I answer that by saying sometimes some people don't have that drama in their daily life, so this is what they do. They come home probably from work, get on the computer, and then get their stress relief and vent off by listening to this and maybe jumping on the chat and yelling a little bit. Um, or there might be other people who just completely don't have any of it, and then they put up a whole digital facade of it, and then they try and live it. So,
yeah,
which I think
yeah,
is completely wrong. Like, I mean, we need to be authentic, and this creation of the digital realm, reality, is an issue, because you think of the children, as I always say, from 2010 onwards, all they are going to know is growing up with devices. You know what I mean? Like, they've got iPhones, tablets, and no login password, like no pens and pads and things like this. It's like no signatures. So it's all FaceTime, it's all social media, it's all Zoom. It's how school's done, it's how banking's done, it's how doctor appointments are done. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's just it's facts we need to think about.
yeah. I mean, even with the whole like, YouTube groups, and I mean, it's something I kind of just like kind of started. I kind of figured out like, it's like the more you stay in these little groups, or I guess like sectors they've been called in, YouTube, the more you get, the more you stay stuck in them, the more you kind of become more stagnant because you can only move so far within certain circles. So if you're able to just move around in the different circles of different stuff that may be like completely different from what you know and whatnot, you can actually you actually have like more freedom and you actually have more room to grow because essentially it's outside of your comfort zone. So like anything that's outside of your comfort zone will make you more open to things because you're not necessarily comfortable there because like that's there's a reason why it's called a comfort zone because if you're
Yeah,
comfortable where you at, then you won't move forward. So
and you got to get out of your comfort zone too at
yeah,
times. I mean, I don't want to sound like the devil's advocate either.
I
Or like,
love devil's advocate.
all right. I want to hear like so from Shay and Miss B. I know y'all been silent for a minute. Y'all got any thoughts?
No, this was wonderful. Thanks for letting me come up here, though. I
No
liked it.
problem. All right, Melly, you have anything you want to add to it?
I decided to engage in things that I like. I like new recipes. I like documentaries about the good old Hollywood days, right? Um,
Yeah,
my mother, who is a lovely woman, and when I say lovely, I mean inside and out. She's a very wonderful individual that was under a lot of stress when we were growing up as children. So, fortunately, television uh, became more affordable. They had the little 12-inch black and white TV sets when I was younger, and she was kind enough to put it in the kitchen to pacify us. And on that television, we watched Sesame Street. We watched the Jeffersons and Good Times, and God help us, we watched Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, all types of network shows. And what I learned is that in between the television and this wonderful encyclopedia set that she purchased for us, that was her way of mitigating the necessity to work. She wasn't a stay-at-home mom, you know, and and would I say that you know would I say that the fact that I was the type of young lady that had to use her own key, let herself in to an empty house and entertain my brother and sister, you know, and cook for them and, just be my father, he was present but not present. Like my mother and father, there was a time period during our childhood where they didn't get along. So basically, my mother decided not to depend on him financially and get, you know, a well-paying job. And as time went on, I eventually became the quote unquote babysitter, right, of my brother and sister. And I would like to believe that I got some good karma coming to me because of that. I think that the fact that I took the initiative to relieve my mother's domestic burdens so that she could participate in this economic world of a capitalist society, because as a young child, I saw that it was a necessity to relieve her sense of domestic burden. I think I have good karma in my bank account because of that. Other than that, I don't know how to explain
um my what I participated in during wartime. You know, when I because when you're in it, right? When you're in it, you're just you're doing it,
Yes.
right? And then there comes this self-actualization of knowing that you're responsible for the deaths of people, you know, and that, yeah, and I'm sure, and it's not just exclusive to veterans. I mean, there are people
Not,
that are on the quote unquote block that were in gangs that did things that they would have preferred not to do, but in order to stay attached to the quote unquote organization, they complied with it. And that's kind of what I'm going through. I'm going through the same thing. It's like, wow, did I profit from it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. However, that doesn't mean, and it trips me out, right? When people say, thank you for your service. And I'm like, do you really know what you're saying?
yes.
Do you really know what you're saying? But I don't respond in that manner. I just, I say likewise,
Yes.
because if it were not for the necessity of maintaining our level of conveniences in this country, I wouldn't have been placed in those circumstances. There would be no need for military. But this is the reality is, you know, that's the problem with karma. The reality is there has to have, look, a head of protection has to be built around the domain in which you possess. And unless you want to be taken out as a punk, you have to do what it takes to maintain the strength of that domain. And so I battle with that. I do. I battle with being responsible for participating in the military under the guise of Persian Gulf War, and it was all about oil. That's all it was about.
Yes.
It was all about, suppressing people. It was all about, it was the supreme act of bullying. It wasn't about, where they hit us first. No, we wanted to maintain a certain lifestyle, and those who had the minerals and possessions that we wanted weren't cooperating, so we bombed them. We now, we just brought them to their knees. And to know that I'm a veteran of that war is challenging for me at times. Now that I have all this retirement time on my hands to think about it, that's why I appreciate the title of your live stream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, like, what I was saying about like Karmic Dead, like, I mean, and there's something I could add to it. Like, it's like it's not no absolute. So it's like, I mean, we don't live in world absolutes, nothing's all the way good, nothing's all the way bad. Like there's always I mean, it's all like we're all living in a gray area. It's like when fighting a war, even if it ain't nothing like, just pulling anybody or whatnot. I mean, two sides are fighting against each other, and usually both sides think they're the good guys. I think like saying this, usually in war, they're like usually a war of like two goods. So like each side think that the other side's the bad guy, while they think each other, uh, everybody, think that their side is the good side. I mean, rarely. I mean, really, would you find a war where somebody knows that they're just the bad guys?
Hmm.
I mean, because you have everybody, they're fighting. They're fighting the other side. So it's like, they have their own like lives and family, people they want to go home to. So it's like, both people are fighting against each other, you know, trying to, I guess, survive, just survive. And sometimes one side, doesn't make it. And then sometimes maybe both sides maybe will survive through it when, they handle it through the diplomatic process, because it always, I mean, if you ever, I mean, I'm sure as a soldier you read the Art of War, so you know the ultimate goal of war is to end the war. You know, I mean, well, of course you want to end the war without little bloodshed as possible, but it's also it also ends through the, you know, the politicians are usually the one that end it. You know, because if you just destroy, you know, like the area where you're at, you know, say you kill all the military soldiers, or you kill them enough where they're no longer a threat. I mean, it's actually kind of actually kind of bad, like to a certain extent, for the victors, because you have to use resources to rebuild that area,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, pretty much wears down your own economy, because, you know, long wars actually put a great strain on the economy, because you're spending so much money and resources a day. I mean, you know, especially the United States, like no telling like how many billions they're putting a day just for, you know, for the troops and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
So so yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just
The,
saying like
yeah, the Department of Defense has an extraordinary budget. I'll put it that
yeah.
way.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, like, you know, the like how much the budget that they have is said. I mean, it's said like the U.S. budget on the military is more than all the other military budgets combined. What I heard. I
Yeah,
mean,
protection is not cheap,
yeah,
and they yeah, protection is not cheap.
Mm-mm.
yeah,
You know,
Not at all.
and you know, there are different branches, of course, in that fraternity of the armed services, and um, I used to count myself fortunate for being the one that had the highest budget until I started to reflect on, you know, what that means.
right,
You know, that means a missile is sent to villages, um, that doesn't seek out the actual enemy. It just annihilates everybody, and you know, that's a problem for me to reconcile in my spirit, that I was participating in loading weapons that caused the destruction that it did. You know, that's a problem that that I won't say it haunts me anymore, because I have taken a lot of my frustrations out online. You know, I had actually, um, but I did it through the provocation of assigning myself as being a defender, right? Like if somebody that I have an affinity for online that is a channel holder ensues him or herself in a conflict, it is something about me that is a defender that would quote unquote assist them in stamping out their quote unquote, you know, social media enemy. And it wasn't through these underhanded tactics that are existing now. There's a lot of underhanded tactics, such as finding out people's personal information and using it to exploit, um, vengeance against them. And that's when I had to stop and pause. I don't want to further cause any greater debt with my karma. You know, I just don't want to be involved with some of the vindictiveness that's going around in these past few months that I've observed. There are people that are getting really low down and dirty with it, um, you know, and the lack of boundaries is starting to remind me of actual war, and I don't want any part of that. So, you know, if there's a fun loving, family centered, inspirational channel holder then I support that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do try to kind of make it like a family, but I mean, my whole goal for this channel was just to create like a positive space, like where we have like civilized and interesting conversations, and do other type of
Mhm.
stuff. I just didn't want to. I don't want to be put in like one box. So
I think family was the wrong term. I think the word I'm looking for is like cohesive, a
yeah,
cohesive environment.
yeah,
That's what I appreciate about you. It's a cohesive environment.
yeah. Yes, I mean, I know you don't. I know I didn't see you, come around much. But I mean, I see you every once in a while. So I was like, yeah, glad to, see you there. It's like everybody that comes through,
I'm
I always
trying to turn
appreciate.
over a new leaf. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I promise. I really am.
Well, I mean, if that's your intent, you'll make it happen. You'll find a way to make it happen. So, I mean, like I said, everybody's been probably doing things they don't regret. So it's just like, just change. Change. Like I've said for like a video, like everybody's writing their own script. So if you don't like script, then change it. Like as Shakespeare put in a quote from Shakespeare in one of his plays, Midnight Summer Dream, all the world's a stage. So all you gotta do is write the script. If you don't like it, rewrite it. I mean, you're the
Yeah.
main character. You're the main character. Now, I mean, it's like now that whole thing
Yeah.
is it, are you gonna write the script or somebody else gonna write it for you? That's the whole thing. So if you're gonna,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
It's
all
always
right,
good to go to a group of people that's more diverse and their opinions are respected. Even if you don't agree with it, it's still good to go and be around those type of people where your opinion is respected. You
yeah,
know.
that's kind of my
Yes.
goal.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, because it makes it so
And
much better. Hmm.
I agree with you. Like to express yourself without the concern of being attacked for it. When people know that you're present to be cohesive with one another, right?
Hmm.
That's a good thing as opposed to people putting you through some type of initiation that consists of very vile tactics of sub, submit, making subjugating you into submission. That to me, that's so unnecessary for social conversation. Why does somebody have to go through an initiation in order to have a conversation?
Hmm.
It became evident to me that uh, you know it's a lot of gang hierarchy that I'm not I'm 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 being I'm becoming disenchanted with the gang hierarchy mentality that exists in some of the sectors that I have participated in.
Yeah,
It's like, what's up with the initiation stuff? What's up with that?
I don't know,
You
but
know,
I mean, I don't do no initiation. You just come through. You cool. You always gonna be welcome. If you come with some negativity, I'm getting right up out of here. That's just kind of like if you, of course, like if you come in, like someone's coming in to control, or just to, or really just starting to come at people. I mean, I may give a warning, but most of the time I'll just, if someone's coming in trolling, I usually just like get rid of troll immediately because I don't want to entertain trolling or anybody trying to come in and purposely trying to derail the conversation, or trying to disrupt the chat purposely. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't want that happening. I don't want to entertain it. I don't want it. I don't even want it to, really be around like that. So
Yeah. And trolls will get their karma as well.
yeah,
They might not they might not think about it that way, but to intentionally antagonize people, I think back in my day it was called signifying, you know.
Hmm.
That has its own set of karma as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
um I was asking my son um something to that effect, and he reassured me that everything is good and there's no need to worry about karma. I was talking to my son about karma, and he's a very optimistic man. I like that about my life. I like that eventually I'm drawn to people who are optimistic. I like that.
Yeah,
Who's
I
that
thought
on camera having something
so,
to eat?
sorry.
And look at that
What's up?
beautiful woman,
Yeah, yeah.
expressive and goddess like that.
Who
Yeah,
who
that's
you talking to
angelic
me,
right there.
girl? You talking to me, girl? No,
Hmm.
I'm just joking. I would never do that. But yeah, I saw the comment was like cam up, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. But anyway, yeah, you're looking fine over there in your white. What would you call that? Is that it? Is that this your hairstyle, or is that like got diamonds and
It's
things to it,
actually
or?
a wedding veil. And after I did
Oh,
my
okay,
DNA
yeah,
cleansing ritual, it was like it's part of the practice, like I guess like in ancient Kemet or Egypt, like the women after they would take showers, they would wear white and wrap up in white. So I just got out the shower. So just practice going back to practicing purity and
Hmm.
cleanliness. After
yeah,
being so
man.
selfish, I fell into such a depression. And when I fell into a depression, I fell into just didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to take a shower. Didn't want to clean up. Didn't want to do my hair. Didn't want to do makeup. And I was like, you know what? This is just getting too much. Why don't I just take my baths, take my showers, breathe in fresh air, be around trees and nature, listen to the birds, just get up and clean and just be myself
Yep.
like a child. When I was a child, I just took a
That's what's
shower
up.
And
and
and did you see the differences? Like they came out of those functions, Like I'm strongly for that. Like I'm probably a little bit like not on schedule, but to be cleansed, like to cleanse every day and to have your your environment in a purest form where you go and do your meditations is the most idealistic place. Have it in a relaxed form and whatnot. Anyway, sorry.
no,
Um,
you're good.
Charmer, I
Taking the
think
time.
I brought it into you.
I don't know. It's just like taking the time for yourself. People would rush me, and I'm just like, I gotta bathe. I gotta clean. I gotta burn some sage. Like I'm gonna go crazy. Like
And preparing a proper routine of nutrition.
Which is realistic and you're going to stick to. Right. I mean, you got to think these things into account, right? Which is affordable for one, which is near your local produce store, which is healthy, which is realistic, like something you'll be able to make and consistently eat, and maybe like start it for 2 to 3 days and then extend it. But I don't know. I'm not too much on my diet. So I eat a lot of um like say rice and beans and things like that. Like I know the Dr. Sabi diet isn't really against. I mean, it isn't really for rice and beans and stuff. But I eat a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit. Um, avocados. So yeah, water. I always hydrate.
Yeah, now think about it. Yeah, food could actually play in karmic debt too.
Hmm. It's also a form of self-respect.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you got a point on that one.
Well, yes. I mean, even with like who you determine to be around with and share your fluids with, I mean, I learned very hard way about that. Like, let me stop, Zero. You know how I get.
Yeah, I know.
I think we are at the point, but it's
Yeah,
good. You can keep as long as you're smiling and you're not crying.
Okay, yeah, I gotta stop. I mean, like, it's just certain people, like, they eat certain things that I don't eat. And when I get around them, they influence me to eat, you know, whatever it is that they're eating. Then before you know, I'm a whole year in hanging with them, eating like them, participating in what they're participating in that is destroying their health. And then, like, I'm paying for it for like the next 2 years, trying to detox, heal myself, get back to myself. And I'm not able to do the things I want to do, go where I want to go, eat what I want to eat, because I just willingly participated in something that's against what I do, I am, what I eat, you know. But I don't know. All I can do is be grateful, for another day to make better decisions, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I guess every day, you have to every day you have a chance to live. You have a chance to move yourself further away from the karmic debt, or I guess if if you whatever decision you make, you can push yourself further. I mean, so it's just up to you where you want to go.
I like how Sam Ray says like be yourself or something.
Shit, I was muted. I was muted. Shit, sorry,
Uh,
man. Sorry to interrupt. But
no, go
yeah, like I think that was the quote I was gonna get at. Like I like to say things like this, like look inside yourself, find your direction, and follow that path, right? And then be the best you can be, and follow your intuition, right? So I mean, there's try to things like I try and live my life standard by have respect for each other, have respect for your elders, respect for cultures and all the sorts. But main thing is look inside yourself and find that direction you want to go. What and go for that pathway. Like there's gonna be ups and downs, but hey, if you're not willing to push through it, then maybe you don't want it as much, or I don't know this like, and the same thing as Zero was saying before. Like I say this too. It's like a lot of people come onto streams and think they can come up with the answers for issues like in one sentence, let alone one stream, sort of thing. Not that this is the case, but you know what I mean. Like they'll say something and then they'll counteract someone's speech by just be like, yeah, but if you did it this way, you could have done it this way, but you could have did it. But we're talking about changing a tire here as opposed to like microwaving a cake or something. You know. I
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with disagreement as long as it's constructive.
That's right, as long as it's constructive. So that's right. That's constructive criticism is beautiful. You got to listen to what that person has said, take it into account, refine it, and then project it in the way you feel it more suits you, rather than like comparing, like a cake and a like sausage roll or a fucking casserole or so, like something completely different. So yeah, and again, I'll say that thing. Like it's hard to. I mean, good to brainstorm, best thing to do, but be prepared. Always be prepared. Don't I think I do a lot of impromptu things. I've got to get into uh, scheduling out um, a weekly or a bi-weekly calendar and coming on a routine schedule and having those topics. So what I want to do is music tutorials, 2 nights of like common, well, not so common uh, parts of history that have taken place, which hold like great what's the word, like you know they have hold great straits towards how society is unveiled today, and then also a couple of open panel things. So, like, it'll take time. And I thought, just the last thing I'll say is that, like, when I heard it off another YouTuber, he was saying when you're trying to do these things, like, because it can be all, we've got life, we've got all these other things going on. So you get a calendar and you think to yourself, when do you want this date? A couple of weeks ahead, a month ahead. You mark the date, and then you look back and you try and spot what needs to be done when and when by. It might help you get along, rather than come to the day before and go, oh shit, I gotta like make all this stuff. So I
All
thought that
right.
was really good.
All right. So anybody else has anything to add?
It's a great way to transcend. It's a, it's a great way to when we find a way to transcend what's wrong with us individually and be ourselves, be authentic. Others can see that and realize like all they have to do is be authentic, be themselves, come as they are, and we can come together then once we're authentic, real with ourselves, and do something like together. But it just starts like first with like self, like individually. Like if someone sees me doing my art, painting, or maybe they see me around my family, I don't know. If I show more of who I really am, what my life really is, and they see just that change in me or just that side of me, I think it allows them to approach me differently, or I think it invites them in. Like as opposed to being superficial, it'll like I guess repulse them or they'll oppose me. Sometimes it just causes a lot of evil eye energy that I could have prevented. I've done it purposely sometimes. Sometimes I did it and it wasn't my intent. And I'm like, man, I missed out on maybe a good. Oh, like there's a situation like some years back between me, ex photography, upcoming photographer or whatever, and some other girl. Like we could have, if we would have gone about things differently, and I hadn't been in such a my ego or whatever, like we could have really did something beautiful together. But I kind of like messed it up, and I kind of prejudged her, and I believe I judged her wrong, and I don't think it was fair. And like later on, I had to apologize to her, and it like took some time to really just like chill off myself and realize, stop for a second and realize like I had to hit her up a couple of times because I just like almost couldn't forgive myself. Like, but it was because of the third party kind of help add to the fire, you know, between me and this other girl, like another model or whatever. And it's just like this girl is no different than me. Like she's just trying to chase her dream like I am. She's just trying to, you know, make with the cards that were dealt to her. Her life probably wasn't any easier than mine's is, or the struggle is, you know. And I just feel like some people I should have gave a chance to, but I didn't because in my past I was just very naive and gullible, and I was like a doormat. Like if I loved you, even my mother, I would just let her like just walk all over me. I would let family walk all over me, friends walk all over me. And then time after time after time, I just began to become like anger and bitter and close and withdrawing from and isolating from, you know, people. And then when new people would come around, I just didn't trust them. You know, I would like think they were just like them. Like I wouldn't even give them a chance to even be themselves. Or and I just realized like that, I don't know what I created, but that monster that's in the mirror, like, you know, I just hate it took this long to just face the monster I created in the mirror. Like I just wasted so much time and had a lack of faith maybe within myself. Like I could have dealt with so many different people, but now like I turned 30 May 22nd. It just passed. So now I'm 30 and I'm just like
Oh, happy late birthday! You ain't even let me know.
Yeah, congratulations.
I didn't like it. I didn't like I hate it. But thank you. Like, it's like that's I
I,
don't
I,
be trying
I
to
mean,
tell people like
I thought you were already in your 30s, so you was like a 20-year
Look,
old. You just now left it.
you're
You left
just
it
a
20.
baby. You're just a baby.
I I
That's
don't
so
feel like
sweet.
a baby. Like I oh my God. Like
Look, I'm
I did like
51. You're a baby. Okay?
Well, I guess that, yeah.
And
I guess we all babies
yeah,
compared to you, because I'm
yeah.
like I'm 30, 34. So yeah, so
Man, listen.
yeah,
And
so
what I really appreciate is that you all allow me to be up here. Now that you know my age, you might think of me differently. Um,
um,
um, I told you
uh,
I was a Gulf War veteran, so that
yeah. I
should
mean,
give
yeah,
you an indication.
yeah. I figured you were mature. Put it like that.
Not, you know what? What's really surprising is how I'm gifted with my physical ability at this age. I do feel my age physically. Don't get me wrong. And I look in the mirror and I say, life is good. That's
yeah.
you know, I I do my mineral bath and I look in the mirror and I say life is good. And I just keep it moving from that point. And whatever happens with my day, I can take it on because of the half a century experience of existence that I have. You know, I begin my day with mineral bath and confidence by declaring in a mirror, life is good. That's what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, it's good to have you, come through. Because I know I've seen your name before, but I just didn't know much about you.
I've
So
been everything from kind to notorious and everything in between. As a matter of fact,
okay.
some of those notorious moments compelled me to go on an apology tour for everyone that I impacted negatively. Although I claim that it was based in provocation, like I didn't start it, they started it. That doesn't mean I had to participate in accelerating it further. And that also caused some sort of guilt to where I went on an apology tour in 2019. Everyone that I went too hard on, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't.
apologize
Yeah,
because I could have
yeah,
You
kept that to
know,
myself.
but
I
that's
could have
yeah,
that
just
militant
dropped off like,
in you.
yeah,
That's that
yeah.
yeah,
authority. You can handle it, but they can't. It's like
I
I know that about people that are very militant. And when you get around other people militant, we understand that. We don't take it that way. But these other people, like, it's like, dang, maybe I was a little too hard. Maybe. And then then it's like, but I think that's what softens us and keep us human. And I
yeah,
think that hearing you speak is like, it touches my spirit. I don't get moved by anything. Like, I'm a hard ass, but I get moved because it's like, I don't think people, it's like you're still human. Like, you're real, your intent, I guess what I'm trying to say, your intent is pure. Like, I don't think you went into the military and knew the things that you know now and was just like, that was your intent. And then I don't even blame people that go into the military at all, because I have to look at the people that vote, like me, the people that fund, like, we're the ones funding this, we're the one pushing this, and we're the one participating in things that make it so easily for war to be in demand. And a lot of people don't look at how we're all connected and well knitted into the things of this world, like the cause and effect, I guess, so to say. Like, we'll get a job, we're like, I gotta get this job, and we'll do certain things, and then we'll complain later on about, like, oh, well, there's single moms, or there's like, we'll start to blame everyone outside ourselves. And it's just like, but what am I doing as an individual to continue this, or what am I doing to discontinue this or solve this problem, instead of just complain, like, about, at least you took the initiative to do something. And because I feel your intent was pure, and I feel that you do have good karma. The fact that you could still walk, like you said, I look in the mirror, life is good. I take my mineral baths. Like, I think you said you felt your age, but I guess you don't move your age. Like, my mom has, and I hate to put her on blast, but my mom is not dealing with the best of karma. And, like, she's 40 something, she's reaching up there to 50, and she can't even walk. Like, there's certain things she said to me out of anger, things that she revealed to me, like, that she wanted to do before I was born, to me, and told me. I just think it's irrelevant. She had me. Like, I don't really want to put her on blast like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgive her. I understand. Like, we've had this conversation already where we cleared up our own karma together, but it's at a point, like, I can't even save her. Like, it's too late. She didn't listen to me. She didn't want me to really be her caregiver. And it's like, the people taking care of her they're just draining her, and her body is just breaking down terribly. And I'm just like, I can't put myself in a position to help you, because you're going to let me fall in a ditch again, to one I can't get out of.
May I
So,
suggest something?
Yes.
The only thing you can offer her at this point, whenever you are inspired to visit her, is um, foot massages. And that not only does that increase her circulation, but it's a bonding experience without words being spoken.
Tantric,
Yeah, it's like when there are no words,
sensually
when there are no
human experience.
words to be exchanged to reconcile past um infractions, you can always give your loved one a foot massage, and that's if they're willing to accept it. It's like I've experienced that. I know what it's like when people that you love the most and yet said the most hateful things to, and you want to reconcile with them more than anything, and the only thing you can do is demonstrate love without words. And what I have found, when caring for people that have done me wrong in my family, was give them a foot massage, because it's just a vibration of appreciation that they'll never acknowledge, but it impacts them and it makes them think like, dang,
Don't you remember the movie Pulp Fiction?
But I'm talking about mothers. I'm
You
talking about
know,
parents. I'm talking about just brothers and sisters and cousins. And I'm not talking about just going around offering food. I'm talking about parents. Because there are people that have very awful memories of what their parents have said to them, and they don't know how to reconcile it. And sometimes it has to be demonstrated. The reconciliation can be demonstrated without words.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that's
really
definitely
can.
true. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and like
just to
to
that comment. Sorry,
what
I was just
what I
muted.
was
I,
what I was
I
gonna
just
say
wanted to say
earlier.
because you said like
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
the
I,
how
hold on,
the
say something right.
comment that she said
Can y'all
to
hear
the
me?
child, it would be like
Hey, can y'all hear me?
one detrimental comment
Can
can
y'all hear me?
be like
I can hear you,
um
Zero.
you know,
I
Okay.
it'll
I
take
think
a
Sun
thousand.
Ray.
Uh,
No,
okay.
no, I can hear you. I can
Um,
hear you, bro. But I
okay.
just was
Okay. I was
muted.
trying to
I
say
was
something.
just muted before she
I
came.
didn't. Yeah. I was.
Yeah, like she. I just want to say something real
Uh,
quick because like I was muted, and it,
yeah.
like it would have gone off topic
I mean.
because she was
I mean.
saying like the detrimental things you say to your children, right? And I really believe that like when you say one negative thing, it takes 1,000 compliments to reimburse that. Like to might have, it was to the point, but anyway, sorry, go on.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say like to earlier. When Nelly was saying like that you had been going through some you had to do certain things. You were part of certain groups. I totally understand where you come from because I was part of some groups that I thought were good, and they turned out to do some things. And I didn't do nothing that was like really too crazy off, but at the same time, it's like once like I was loyal to like the wrong people sometimes, and sometimes, and when I found out that this was not where I wanted to head, I immediately started breaking apart from it. So now like after being a part of the group, so doing it was good, and others they were just
Zero.
they like
Audio is like on my end is sounding robotic, and I don't know if it's just my connection because I do have a poor connection in
I thought it was
California.
my. I thought.
oh
Yeah. I thought it was mine
how am I
too.
sounding now? How am I
I'm
Okay,
sounding
yeah,
now?
no,
adjusting
that's
my
better.
microphone and everything.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay,
yeah.
I
okay,
got this
yeah,
T-phone. I was sure. I
okay,
was like, I'm just
okay. So
saying
y'all,
that because I've been blocked when I not here, but other people like I say, look, yo, I can't hear on my end. They'll just straight up block me, and I'm like, whoa, I wasn't trolling. I swear I couldn't hear.
Okay, okay. I mean, nah,
No,
you know, I ain't
sometimes with
gonna.
that issue, as you would know, 0 is 8. You just take them in and out, and it can be
Yeah,
It's
but
good now.
I mean,
like you take them in and
okay,
out
yeah,
backstage, and then
okay. So since I'm good now, yeah, I was like talking about like certain groups I was part of that. Well, I mean, I think it was probably like maybe one I was actually part of that like seemed good. Then they turned out to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and stuff I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really think it was really bad, but I was just loyal to the wrong people. And I mean, then I was a part of other groups that were cool. They had their issues, but it was just like over time. I just like said, well, I was just I might maybe still cool with certain people in some of those groups, but as far as like me really joining a certain group, something like that, I just kind of was like no, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna have people I rock with that I'll just rock with different peoples. I mean, hence like why I started to take on the background where it said the Zero Effect Network. Just like I want to be able to have a network of people I can communicate with. Not part of no group, but we all can come together at times. People need support or something like that, or just just want to communicate and talk. So just different people trying to just want something positive out of it. So like the I remember when someone was telling me about the number zero. It was like saying, yeah, talking about the zero effect, like where like you put the biggest number in front of you and you put zero in front of it, multiply it, it like just erases the whole number. So it's kind of like a canceling effect, kind of like trying to kind of like try to have like a sense of neutrality here. That's what I try to do. But yeah, but I guess I'll let yeah, Sunray, you were saying something earlier, so I'll let you finish the point you were talking about if you're still listening.
say
Okay,
again.
well, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like her.
I was done.
She's
I'll go ahead. Okay,
You broke up.
okay,
I'm
what's that?
not sure
Okay,
what's
there you
going
go.
on with Wi-Fi across YouTube today. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's going on with Wi-Fi across YouTube today. Maybe some airplanes are flying around due to the recent events. You know,
maybe.
there's a lot of air traffic, so it might interfere with signals.
And then,
But I was able to interpret your perspective
yeah,
in what you said, and whenever um, the two individuals want to chime in, I'm here for it. Like if I drop, I'm saying if I drop off, it's not intentional, as best
Oh
as
yeah,
I
no,
can help it.
not at
But
all. We're having a great
there's
time.
some
Appreciate
there
it.
yeah, we're borging, and I don't know why.
I
Oh,
can hear
on
you
the
clearly.
YouTube. Yeah, StreamYard be coming through clearly. I don't know about on the YouTube. Is it Borg?
Yes, it's clear on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly,
I'm
Mela.
good.
And that's right. Actually, before I forget to say this, we should all get everybody get Zero the Infinite to 1K plus subscribers, alright? And get everybody out there who is in the chat. We need to get, Nikki C. Everybody knows she's gonna be the first female to reach that. Oh well, apart from Peach, but anyway, get her to 1K
I,
plus
I
Oh,
subscribers.
I mean, getting one
I'll be
K is
my
cool,
I'll do my best to
but
endorse. I'll be my best on that.
yeah,
And like
like front
I don't know why
front and
guys don't
center.
like
I'll be
me
sure.
endorsing that. Every time I bring it up, everyone's like, "Man, man, shut up, motherfucker." Like, I don't know. Maybe they've
It's
done it
not how you
No,
before.
do it.
no,
You
no.
gotta do it in a way that is marketable without
Yeah, I mean,
being over the top.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I
that's all you
mean,
gotta do.
yeah, I mean,
You
yeah,
just
I mean,
gotta mention it in casual conversation and be so consistent with it that they pique the content creators substance, and they'll of course
yeah,
be drawn to it, and it'll grow. That's what
yeah,
yeah,
I've done for quite a few people. You know, I've volunteered my dare I say personality, and you know, at the risk of being humiliated, you know, in order for people to obtain, what do they call it, the AdSense, whatever. I think the protocol is 100, no, 1,000 subscribers, and and a certain amount of views. And the way you accommodate achieving that is through promotion. But it can't be just blatant outright, yeah, check this channel out, check this channel out. Sometimes you have to just mention
yeah,
someone on a
yeah, and then
consistent basis, and next thing you know, the traffic hopefully will come.
yeah, and then on top of that, I don't want to just have like just a bunch of people who just subscribe to my channel and then don't even come and support.
right.
I would rather have like a few
Authentic.
loyal supporters than have a
Yep,
whole bunch of people who ain't
Yeah.
checking me out. So I mean, so
absolutely.
I'm kind of
I
cool with the slow growth right now, you know, because I know that it'll be authentic once it gets to that point.
Yeah, man.
yes.
I'm with that too. The authentic thing,
Yeah,
I'd prefer to have like 10,000 authentic subscribers rather than 1 million. That if you are creative and you are releasing uh, pieces of art every 3 months, even though whatever value may be, then, you know, at least half of those people purchase that, you know, then you're making regular income rather than a million people who would 1% of that would purchase it, you know.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. I
Quality
mean,
over quantity.
right. Yeah. That's my whole thing. I mean, like I said, I didn't mind you like promoting it, but it's just like I mean, you know, it's like if it comes, it comes. Like I'm not gonna stress out about it. You know, I mean, you know, I'm getting people coming
I'm
over. It's
trying to get
slow.
my shit up there. So if I ever put my name out there, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I will. I'll take it into account.
yeah. Lock Neutral, you over there sipping on that wine?
Zero now, don't start. I like, I like when you have the quality people up here. I like to, I'm not drunk. Don't, I'm a little
I
tipsy,
did.
but I'm,
I didn't say you were drunk.
yeah, you didn't say yes, Zero, but you were thinking it.
I wasn't. I wasn't until you just said that.
Zero! You be teasing me. But I like my wine, so
Yeah.
Moscato or
actually
white,
my
red.
favorite, but I do not have Moscato right now. I have some Manischewitz Concord grape.
Okay, yummy.
So I'm almost done with it. So you know what? I'm gonna have to get some Moscato next. I like my wine and I like my wine coolers. I like white wine and I like red wine, but I've been craving grape and cranberry juices, something kind of tart. Eventually, I'll get back to the white wines and get back to Moscato. That's like something that right there. That's like I don't really want to do that by myself. I gotta have a significant other.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as it's moderation, hey, you, because you don't want to get too out of control with it.
Zero. I won't.
I know, just saying, like, just just a friendly reminder. That's all.
I'll keep that in mind. Zero.
All right.
No, because I'm laughing because the last the last time when I was on my YouTube channel, you was in my chat room. And you swearing up and down that I was drunk, and I don't think I was drunk that time, but it makes me.
I mean, you sounded pretty drunk. Maybe you weren't drunk, but you sounded pretty drunk. You might
I
not have
thought
been.
that's what it meant to be tipsy. I thought that was tipsy.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, but I thought I
So
don't know. You
you
fight.
didn't know?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah. I've been making sure I've been doing things in moderation, like you said, but yeah, I think this is in moderation. I only had like 2 cups. So I didn't pull my wine glass out. That's a big wine glass. You be thinking I fill it up to the top. So like I'll just use this glass and do halfway, like, but I'm almost done with it. That's not a lot of alcohol at all. It's just red. See? Yeah, I don't even think, let's see, 11%, and only did half. So I'm a lightweight, so I'm good. As long as it's not like some Jack Daniels, I'm good.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like Jack Daniels.
I hate brown, eh?
Yeah, well.
Brown liquor makes me go crazy. I like gin.
See, now I can't mess with you with no gin, Lord.
See, I see me. I'm not an alcoholic like the both of y'all. I'm playing. No, I'm playing. No, I'm playing.
No,
I'm just
you're an
playing.
alcoholic if you have this, right? If you
Come
have
on,
this in
you.
your house and you're not a child, you might be an alcoholic.
If you have what? What was it? Oh, that's it.
The cheeses.
I swear those are for my son.
Uh-huh. Why you saying that they might be alcoholic? They had those cheeses. Please elaborate.
That is an alcoholic snack right there. Every alcoholic I've met got that in there. I'm like, do you really need the big boxes everywhere I go? Bring out the cheeses.
I thought that might be because people just love cheeses. I didn't know the alcoholic snack. Now I learned something today.
Yeah, you learned that the other day. The cheese and shit. Was it? Or was that someone else? That's pretty funny.
But like I like garlic bread. I like garlic bread.
Is
Make it
garlic bread
plain.
alcoholic food too?
I don't you need bread. Like I just don't know. Like when your head is spinning, you need some bread with some garlic and butter or cheese. Like you need it. Like or crackers, like cheese crackers, any kind of crackers, toast, maybe some soup.
See now
Very
I'm just
true.
getting out my
Butter,
notes.
garlic.
See cheeses, garlic bread, alcoholic
I better
food.
show you this thing.
Hey, I think I read in the Bible somewhere where it said like drink and be merry. So I'm just doing what the Bible said.
Watch me
Okay.
come this way.
Don't even try to misinterpret that verse. Hey, you know that ain't what they meant.
Hey, that is
Where's
my
the cup?
interpretation. I may have misinterpreted, but that is my interpretation. So for me, I'm not begging nobody else to do that. Like, but for me, I just feel like I'm going to hell for that, huh, Zero?
Well, maybe there is a heaven or hell.
Yeah, right? Who knows?
I mean, if heaven's gonna get him. See, but you checked it out, right? Like, you listen. Okay, I don't know if I'm interrupting anyone there, but
No,
then,
you're good. No, you're good.
like you just said, like, that song. Oh, I don't know if it was that, but then I said, I wonder if heaven's going to get it, right? And you're saying these people who live these lives, are they going to be destitute to slain in a life of like brimstone and fire? And it always made me think as a child, like, I'd think, how can there be so much like torture, corruption, imbalance in the world, and these children in third world countries don't get a better life, like, or a better second chance, It's kind of weird. Like, it's like, I wonder if heaven going to get it, or it's just the way it is.
What is heaven and what is hell to you?
Well, I will describe that. I can't describe it, but the great Papa Wu, like, I'm not to go. I'm not a five. What is it, a 5% or but um, hell, heaven is what you make it, and hell is what you go through. That's how
What
he
about you,
described.
Zero? What's heaven and hell to you?
Like, it was like heaven and hell, probably states of mind. You create your own heaven and you create your own hell. Hell. So that's pretty much my own definition of it. But if I, talking about their actual place and all that, I don't actually leave their actual places. I mean, because I mean, you can only find out after you die. So it's like, yeah, if you die, you can't really confirm uh or deny anything from there. So it's like kind of like not something I worry about. But I'm gonna let y'all get some last words. I guess Nella's
And then
connection.
back. Well, wait. Back. Yeah, back to her answer. That I should reciprocate the question to the queen.
Um, yeah, I was about to get ready.
Oh,
I was about to
sorry,
give y'all.
bro.
I was
Sorry,
about to give
bro.
y'all. Yeah, I was about to give y'all last words, and I was gonna get ready to hit it. Says, I thought Melo was coming. I guess her internet must not. Guess her internet must be acting up. So, but appreciate her coming on. But I'll give y'all so
Yeah,
give y'all
acting up.
last word. So, yeah, y'all got the last words before I end the stream. I think we talked about it enough.
Well, thank you, Zero, for, you know, taking the time out to have this discussion about karmic debt. I'm going to do my best to pay in full all that I've done and leave back a good karma credit. You know, it's
Mm.
poor right now, but I'm working on getting that up.
Got to pour karma score. You gotta gotta get
Yeah,
some of that good karma credit.
right. I do credit karma. Okay.
Okay, all right. Sorry, how about you guys? Last words.
Same, man. Much thanks. Gonna see you again for sure on all the usual streams. Nikki C, um, Beach, Laws, uh, Antique. What is it, Antigua? Do you usually go to channel? I'll obviously sub you after this.
I mean, but I think we get it because I know we go on certain ones. We'll see each other around. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but like I like to do that. I like to like mention that, mention
Yeah.
channels because I mean that is the whole. I know what you're saying because they've gone on YouTube, have gone off that sort of thing, trying not to tell people to subscribe and reciprocate, but still marketing has got to be, you got to put your brand forward. And I was just saying that, I've just seen her channel. I'm gonna go sponsor to that. I'm gonna go subscribe to that. But catch you on your next episode. Keep it fucking. Oh, sorry if you swear. Keep it happy. Keep it blessed. Keep it well. I hope you don't have to work too hard tomorrow and keep it legit. Stay
All right.
yourself.
All right. So thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate the love for it. Thank you for uh let's see, Shay, Mela, Nutra, Sunray, Shar, Miss B Town Hester, all coming through on the panel. And let me see if I can get everybody on the chat. Shout out to Supermom Go. Shout out to Shay, Marie, Purple Love, Miss Big Town, Goddess Supreme, Lancutron, Nadia, of course, Mela, and Nikki C. Thank y'all for coming through. I will hold this my vibration, people, and I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for checking out the stream. Y'all have a great night.